Vinny the Gooch here, along with Sunny Day, welcoming you again to Backyard Baseball.
Step up to the plate. Nostalgia hits hard with Backyard Baseball 01, a beloved childhood classic making its grand return on Steam. If you grew up smacking cartoon home runs with Pablo Sanchez and friends, get ready. This game is exactly how you remember it, only now it's officially back and better tuned for modern play. I still get a goofy grin hearing Sunny Day's enthusiastic commentary and Vinny's quips echoing from the dugout. It feels like booting up a time machine to the early 2000s. The cheerful visuals, the crack of the bat, and all those quirky kid characters instantly bring back the magic of backyard sports. The hook here isn't just nostalgia. Backyard Baseball 01 genuinely remains a fun, lighthearted baseball experience that can charm both longtime fans and a new generation of players. At its core, Backyard Baseball 01 blends two worlds, neighborhood kids and major league legends. The game features 30 original backyard kids, each with their own personalities and silly one-liners, and 28 backyardified pro players from the late 90s era. Imagine picking a lineup where your pitcher might be Randy Johnson throwing heat in a t-shirt, and your shortstop is Derek Jeter sporting a cap backwards. That's the kind of roster magic this game offers. In fact, this 2001 edition was a game changer for the series, introducing some of baseball's biggest names into the cartoony backyard universe. There's something hilarious and awesome about seeing Hall of Famers as kids, from Cal Ripken Jr. and Tony Gwynn to slugger Mark McGwire. They're all here, with pint-sized stats and big-time skills. Even notorious power hitter Jose Canseco made the cut, so you can reenact those 500-foot homers in miniature form. The real star, of course, is still Pablo Sanchez, the fictional kid who's basically the GOAT of backyard sports. Pablo's maxed-out stats made him a legend back then, and he's every bit as overpowered today. There's a reason fans joke he's one of the greatest video game athletes ever. Pair him with pros like Derek the Captain Jeter or Sammy Sosa, and you've got a dream team that's both absurd and unstoppable. The mix of kids and pros gives the game a unique charm and replayability. You'll catch yourself experimenting with wacky lineups just to hear the banter between an MLB All-Star and a neighborhood kid. And yes, the hilarious power-ups are back too. Expect crazy pitches like the zigzagging corkscrew and outrageous hits like the aluminum bat boost that can send the ball screaming into orbit. It's arcade-style baseball, so realism takes a backseat to pure fun. Fielders might bobble easy catches, or three kids might dogpile a pop fly at once. It's all part of the slapstick comedy that makes each game unpredictable and entertaining. So how does Backyard Baseball 01 actually play after all these years? In one word, joyfully. This isn't a hardcore sim. It's a point-and-click arcade sports game that anyone can pick up. Controls are super simple. You aim your swing or pitch with the mouse, and timing is everything. What keeps it engaging is the variety of modes and the season structure. You can jump into a single game exhibition or dive into a season mode where you create a team and try to win the Backyard World Series, formerly known by the grandiose title, the Ultra Grand Championship of the Universe Series, as the game humorously calls it. Season mode is surprisingly deep. You manage through a 14-game season, face playoffs, and if you keep winning, you go for that big championship. The game even lets you pick a home field from 8 classic backyard ballparks, each with its own quirky backdrop, from dirt lots to playground parks. Compared to the original 1997 Backyard Baseball, the 2001 edition added a ton of improvements that fans noticed immediately. There's a more fleshed-out skill system now. Kids can have good days or bad days affecting their stats, so one day your speedy player might feel sluggish and the next day they're on fire. It makes your team selection and in-game strategy more dynamic every time you play. The season mode also isn't stuck on one field anymore. Unlike the first game, which had you play every game in the same generic lot, Backyard 01 introduced true home fields for each team. That means more variety in scenery and some home advantage flavor as you progress through the season. These tweaks, along with the inclusion of all those pro players, are why many consider Backyard Baseball 01 a major improvement over its predecessor. Another charming feature is the commentary. The The announcers Sunny Day and Vinny the Gooch provide a continuous stream of kid-friendly play-by-play and jokes. Their corny exchanges will make you chuckle or occasionally groan. It's like having two cartoon sportscasters in the booth. And the soundtrack and ambient noise bring back summer vibes. The crack of the bat, the cheering kids, the ice cream truck in the distance on some fields. It's all designed to feel like a casual neighborhood ball game rather than a big stadium, and it still works. Let's talk about what this new 2025 Steam release brings to the table. First off, Playground Productions, the publisher, actually partnered with MLB to get all the official team names, logos, and player likenesses back in the game. That means you'll see real MLB team logos and can play as, say, the Yankees or Dodgers in season mode, just like the original release back in 2001. This is a fully licensed remaster, which is a big deal for authenticity. We've got 28 out of the 31 original MLB pros returning, which is pretty amazing after 2 decades. The only bummer is a few legends couldn't be included. Ken Griffey Jr., Frank Thomas, and Barry Bonds are benched this time, likely due to licensing issues. It's a bit disappointing if those were your favorites, but honestly, the lineup is still stacked with star power. The developers at MegaCat Studios have done a solid job making this old game run on modern systems. They didn't have the original source code to work with. Imagine resurrecting a game from just its compiled form. Yikes. Yet they managed to get it running smoothly through some clever engineering. On Steam, Backyard Baseball 01 runs well and looks better than ever. The graphics are crisp and scale nicely on my Windows 10 PC without any weird glitches or crashes. Don't expect new 3D models or anything. It's the same 2D art and animations, just presented in a clean way on today's displays. In fact, that authenticity is the selling point. This is exactly the classic game, preserved for modern hardware. They even added 24 Steam achievements, which are a fun new challenge for completionists. Some achievements reward goofy feats, like hitting a certain number of homers or pitching a perfect game, adding a little extra motivation to replay. There are also a couple of bonus features thrown in to test your skills. Think along the lines of challenge modes or slight gameplay tweaks. Though this isn't a full remake with new content, it's more like a respectful touch-up of a classic. One thing to note, the multiplayer aspect from the original, where you could theoretically play against others online, is pretty much absent here. The Steam version focuses on single-player fun. That's not a huge surprise. Even back then, online play was experimental and required dialing into servers that no longer exist. So, Backyard 01 on Steam is mainly a solo nostalgia trip or a pass-the-mouse local experience. If you were hoping to challenge your buddy across the country, you might be out of luck unless you try using Steam's Remote Play Together or some workaround. But for most of us, reliving the single-player season is exactly what we wanted anyway. As for any downsides or things that show the game's age, the gameplay can feel a bit simplistic by today's standards. Sometimes fielders will make silly errors, or you'll notice the AI do something odd. These were always part of the game's charm. It was never meant to be hyper-realistic, but impatient new players might find it clunky in moments. Also, the graphics are 2D cartoon sprites from 2001, preserved in their original form using an emulator-based wrapper, rather than being re-rendered or touched up for HD. What you see is an authentic presentation of the original art, scaled cleanly for modern displays. Backyard Baseball 01 is a product of its time, and this remaster embraces that fully, quirks and all. The good news is that the community reception has been largely positive. Fans are delighted to have a legal, easy way to play this gem again. On Steam, it's sitting at mostly positive reviews, with folks praising how faithfully it resurrects the fun they remembered. A few critiques pop up about the missing players or some minor technical hiccups, but nothing game-breaking. It's clear the team's priority was preservation and authenticity, and on that front, they delivered. I have to say, Backyard Baseball 01 still delivers an absolute blast of arcade baseball fun. It succeeds foremost as a nostalgia trip, a bridge to our younger days, but it's also easy to pick up for kids today, proving that good gameplay is timeless. The combination of lovable kid characters and real MLB stars gives it a charm that no other baseball game has ever replicated. This new release doesn't add a ton of new content, but it faithfully restores a classic with a few modern perks like achievements and polish. I did find some of the old quirks, like fielding errors and repetitive chatter, reminding me that this game was originally made for 8-year-olds on Windows 98. Yet, those same quirks also made me laugh and kept the experience light. In a world of ultra-serious sports sims, Backyard Baseball's whimsical, accessible style is a welcome palate cleanser. So, is it worth picking up on Steam? If you have fond memories of the Backyard Sports series, it's a no-brainer. For newcomers, especially younger players, the $10 price tag gets you a kid-friendly baseball game that's still a lot of fun, especially if you play together as a family. There's a reason this series is remembered so fondly. It truly made baseball fun for everyone back in the day, and it can still do that now. After weighing the pros and cons, I'm giving Backyard Baseball 01 a score of 8 out of 10. It's a solid double off the wall. Maybe not a towering homer for all players, but definitely a win for those of us craving a sweet slice of childhood gaming. And that's the ball game. If you enjoyed this review and want to see more throwbacks and hidden gems, be sure to smash that like button and subscribe to GameVault HQ. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next video. Until then, play ball.
Pick me, pick me.